Okay, yeah, I'm not gonna quit on you. I'm gonna finish this entire step in this sequence. Scoring it because I had caulked it before. I don't want to peel that paint. It won't come off very easily if I don't lightly score it and have it come off this way. And then I can kind of, well, I was going to say I can mess with that one later, but I'll get some of it off. And I'll caulk this again. Because the last thing I want is for the rain, water, and the snow melt to go down in the cracks and get underneath my stairs. Okay. Yeah. Wow. My hand's going to be really sore tonight if I keep doing it that way. And I'll go back where I've scored the paint and with my other putty knife and get the rest of the caulking off. And I think I'll do that at the last. See, look how thick that is, no joke. And yes, it was that bad, the stairs, so that's why I thought I would fix them. I could have left them and just painted over them, but what do you suppose would have happened? All the water would have just puddled on there. And even if I would have caulked that, the water would just sit here until it got enough pooled up to go off, and then when it stopped raining or whatever, this would always be wet until it dried all the way, and eventually that's going to dry rot out my stairs. So I thought, hey, if you're going to do something, you might as well do it to the best of your ability, not just half-ass do it. And that's what I tried to do with this fix-all. Without realizing, I probably shouldn't have used the fix-all out here. Just on the inside of your house. That's just my putty knife. I could have thrown away this putty knife a long time ago because I rubbed it all the way around from cleaning grout lines in shower floors and that kind of stuff before sealing them. I've got those kind of videos on my channel too. And the paint, the primer and the paint really stuck good to the stair risers. This section here is called the riser, and the flat part is called the stair tread. And so when I get all done, I'll do a once over on these and clean up at the bottom anything loose. And then I'll leave that. And then I'm going to check, I'm going to end up checking all of these. The outside risers on the 4x12 itself. So you got this section of the riser, and then the other riser, the 2x6 redwood, is behind there, or you can make a Douglas fir if you're painting. It's behind there. That paint seems to be sticking fine. This paint wasn't sticking that well, and so I was checking it with my putty knives and I was scraping them off. I thought, well, if I can get it off that good with just a putty knife, I might as well do that, so I can get ready to do everything at the last, because if this is not sticking very well, how do I know the next layer of paint on top of that is only going to stick as much as this is sticking to the wood? And so when I did this section of rise, on the side over there, it was loose. The paint was loose, and so I kept going, and then I started getting to the point where I'm trying to scrape that off, and I was actually scraping off a little bit of the backside of the wood. And I know that, hey, if the primer is sticking that well, there's no sense me scraping it all the way to the bare wood at those points. So I'm going to check the rest of that stair, and I may not do any more on that. I may just do the edge, the top edge of the riser up here, you know, anything that's loose there. But if that all looks tight and seems to be tight, depending, I may leave it. And if I do leave it, then that tells me I'm going to have a line there. Even if I try to sand that and stuff, I'm still going to have, you know, 3 layers of paint, one layer of primer, 2 layers of finish paint over there, and there's nothing here. So what I would have to do is put a layer of primer there, 2 coats of finish paint to get up to this point before I painted the entire thing over again. You see what I'm saying? And on those top 2 stair treads, that rise portion, I was scraping that off, and it seems to be really hard to scrape. Now this one kind of came off because I remember there was a knot there, and then I put Fix-All around that to try to taper it in, and I did Fix-All in certain areas. Over here I remember I had some Fix-All over in here because I filled that up with Fix-All. Now I'll have to caulk that in before I get ready to finish the step and everything. But that bubbled up from here over to here, and I'll probably end up taking that back in here somewhere, and then making sure I can't easily take it off. Same thing there. I did a little patch there, I remember, and this paint bubbled. So now I'm going to have to check my risers on certain areas, because see right there how it's bubbling up. See, and over here, this edge here, I know it's going to be loose, probably back to there, and so forth and so on. Oh, feels good to be done for the day. Well, that's all I got for this time, but I'll be back with more videos.